This is a Guerrilla Democracy News special report. The contradiction that is Den Tarragon, a crusader or a hypocrite. The self-appointed watchdog. Den Tarragon has positioned himself as a vigilant guardian of truth, a self-styled whistleblower determined to expose wrongens, fraudsters, scammers, and cheats within his community. In his conversations with figures like YouTube's Jupiter, he presents himself as a man driven by moral duty, a protector warning the public against deception. On the surface, this seems commendable. Vigilance against fraud is necessary, especially in an era where online scams proliferate. But what happens when the self-appointed watchdog becomes the very thing he claims to oppose? What happens when his accusations are not rooted in truth, but in personal vendettas, misinformation, or an unwillingness to admit error? This is the contradiction at the heart of Den Tarragon. The wrongens paradox, truth-teller or smear merchant. While Tarragon claims to expose fraud, there is mounting evidence that he has falsely branded honest individuals as scammers while shielding or even aligning with actual bad actors. His campaign against John Wanoa, the New Zealand-based entrepreneur behind the King's Flag and Moai Tidal Energy, is a prime example. Tarragon has repeatedly labeled Wanoa a scammer, a liar, and a thief. But those who know Wanoa, myself included, find these accusations not only baseless but malicious. John Wanoa is a man of integrity, an innovator with a bold vision for renewable energy through tidal turbines. His ambition to raise £25 million in capital was not evidence of fraud, but of legitimate entrepreneurial aspiration. So why does Tarragon persist in this narrative? The inconvenient truth, a sunk cost in slander. Reluctant as I am to ascribe motive, the evidence suggests that Tarragon is trapped in his own lie. Having invested so heavily in the falsehood that Wanoa is a fraudster, he cannot backtrack without facing severe reputational damage. Admitting error would require accountability, something Tarragon seems unwilling to embrace. Instead, he doubles down, ensuring that Wanoa's name remains tarnished. The consequences? A man's reputation, business prospects, and dreams have been systematically dismantled by online mob justice, led by Tarragon and his associates. The sabotage of Moai Tidal Energy, how far did it go? At the core of this saga is the Moai Tidal Energy share sale, which never had a chance to succeed. Why? Because Tarragon and his cohorts actively sabotaged it. In a capitalist economy, raising capital through share sales is not only legal but fundamental to innovation. Investors take risks, some ventures succeed, others fail. That is the nature of business. Yet Tarragon and his allies did not merely express skepticism, they orchestrated a campaign to destroy Wanoa's credibility before his project even began. The most damning revelation? John Wanoa was denied entry into the UK under highly suspicious circumstances. According to credible accounts, this was not the result of legal due process, but of back-channel interference, specifically, an alleged phone call from one Danny Jones to a contact at Heathrow Airport. If true, this constitutes underhanded, extrajudicial sabotage. Where were the fraud charges? The criminal complaints? There were none. Just a coordinated smear campaign masquerading as consumer protection. The bigger picture, who really benefits? This case raises disturbing questions. Who gains from destroying an entrepreneur's reputation? Is Tarragon truly a fraud exposer, or does he engage in selective targeting to bolster his own standing? Why do his followers accept his claims without scrutiny? The pattern is clear. Tarragon positions himself as a truth-teller while engaging in the very behavior he condemns. He brands honest men as fraudsters, protects actual wrongdoers, and refuses to correct his mistakes even when confronted with evidence. A call for accountability. If Den Tarragon genuinely cares about truth and justice, he must publicly retract his false claims against John Wanoa. Provide evidence for his accusations or admit they were baseless. Acknowledge the harm caused by his campaign of sabotage. Until then, his credibility remains in tatters. A man who claims to fight fraud cannot himself traffic in lies. The public deserves better. John Wanoa certainly did. Thank you for watching this special Guerrilla Democracy News report. Check out guerrillademocracy.blogspot.com for more news the mainstream media dare not report.